1, 2, 3. I've been running from the pain, trying not to feel the same, but it's a shame that we miss again. See, my confidence is shaking and my heart is feeling vacant, so you try to fill it in. You said I could fix the broken in your heart, you would sit in dark.
As human population grow, demands on natural resources continue to intensify. Land use and environmental policy must keep pace with ever-changing science, economics, technology, and resource condition. Land is an essential natural resource, both for the survival and prosperity of humanity, and for the maintenance of all terrestrial ecosystems. Over millennia, people have become progressively more expert in exploiting land resources for their own ends. Land is not regarded simply in terms of soil and surface topography, but encompasses such features as underlying superficial deposits, climate and water resources, and also the plants and animals communities which have developed as a result of all the interactions of the physical conditions. The results of human activities, reflected by changes in vegetative cover or by structures, are also regarded as features of the land. Changing one of the factors, such as land use, has potential impacts on the other factors, such as flora and fauna, soils, surface water distribution, and climate. Changes in these factors can be readily explained by ecosystem dynamics, and the importance of the relationships in planning and management of land resources has become increasingly evident. Natural resources are at the beginning of every supply chain. Their development is essential to the production of energy, consumer goods, and food. This means that there are high stakes involved in their use, development, and depletion. People use many of the Earth's natural resources. All of the products we use have a natural resource base: minerals, forest products, water, and soil are just a few of the natural resources humans use to produce energy and make things people use. Some of the natural resources can be reproduced within a few years or decades. These are called renewable resources, and this example is the trees. The oil, minerals, and soil takes hundreds, thousands, and even millions of years to be made, and these are called non-renewable resources. It is very important we use renewable and non-renewable resources wisely. If a resource is used and thrown away, eventually the resources become scarce. When the supply dwindles, its prices will increase. Products that are made from the resource would increase in price too. Sometimes, resources become so rare, they can no longer be used. In these cases, substitute resources may be used, which may make a poorer quality product or one that is more expensive. If substitute cannot be used, some products could no longer be made. Wise use of resources includes not throwing away products that are reusable or recyclable. When these products are reused or recycled, it maintains resource availability, uses less landfill space, and uses less energy. Most of the world's energy resources are from the conversion of the sun's rays to other energy form after being incident upon the planet. Some of the energy has been preserved as fossil energy, and some is directly or indirectly usable, such as biowind, hydro, or power energy. Conserving energy is not just about saving on your electricity cost. This can accelerate the negative consequences of climate change, including higher temperatures and a rise in the frequency of extreme weather events. The primary environmental effect of energy overuse is an increase in your carbon footprint, but there are simple changes you can make at home to avoid this. For example, if you keep devices plugged in and running when they're not in use, the result is an increase in electrical use and consequently a bump into amount of greenhouse gases that enter the atmosphere. In areas with heavy population densities, the price you pay for home electricity is determined by supply and demand. Some power plants charge consumers more during peak hours. Your overuse will contribute to a scarcity in this energy supply and thus an increase in overall electricity cost. Over the long term, the rise in demand may place additional burdens on threatened environmental areas, such as coastal areas or wildlife refuges. To ensure adequate resources, drilling for a natural gas for mining or coal to meet excessive energy demand will negatively impact the environment. A natural consequence of overusing energy is increased cost for you. This can come in the form of fuel and energy bills. You will be paying more without an appreciable return on your investment. You may also risk lowering the expected lifespan of appliances and other electronics. When you have to replace spent devices, you further impact the environment by generating waste and purchasing replacement equipment. Your wise use of electricity, therefore, can translate into long-term savings in energy bills and also reduce the need for other purchases. A number of factors have come together in the early 21st century that have brought sustainability to the forefront of political and societal attention. Historical, economic, and social models were largely focused on present needs. People used what they needed at the time, with little concern for the future impact of their consumption. Back in the Middle Ages, this was not a major problem because nobody was able to use up large amounts of resources. However, following the Industrial Revolution, this changed. Large-scale use of fossil fuels and industrial production methods have both depleted the world's finite resources and also damaged the environment through pollution and overuse of natural resources. At the same time, advances in medicine have extended life expectancy, and the world's population has expanded exponentially. This, in turn, has increased demand for resources. Science suggests that these changes are now accelerating and, if unchecked, could rapidly lead to global disaster. It has therefore become clear that if we do not make changes to how we live and work on a global scale, future generations will probably be unable to cope. In other words, this model is not sustainable. It allows us to meet our present needs, but it damages our potential to meet our needs in the future. Change is necessary to ensure the long-term survival of the planet. In particular, we need to reduce our use of natural resources to ensure that there is enough to go around.